We're going further inside than ever before. Welcome to Inside Star Citizen. Welcome everyone to the first episode of our brand new series where we take a look inside the weekly development of making our weekly development series. I'm your host.
What are you doing?
Look, putting together Inside Star Citizen each and every week can be a daunting task. And the team members in our global video production team work with developers every day to determine how we can present their work in interesting and effective ways.
I was 2 minutes late.
And in the case of the Anvil Ballista, recently introduced as straight to drivable in our Alpha 3.6 patch, that meant talking with two of the designers in our LA studio that worked to bring it to life. So let's find out how our video team put that segment together.
Let's just run this segment, the normal segment.
The Ballista adds an element to the persistent universe that we really don't have yet, and that is, how does a player defend something that they own or something they want to protect from a ground perspective?
The Ballista expands our ground gameplay by giving us more vehicles to play around with and some other options for anti-aircraft defense.
My primary purpose I have found is its range. This vehicle has an extended range that you just don't see out of fighters. You don't see it out of any other craft that we currently have right now.
You can stay far away and take down a ship before they even see you. And if you get into a ship and you have to fight the other ship, you're putting yourself in danger. Whereas in the Ballista, you can kill them before they even detect you.
So the unique thing about the Ballista's missiles, particularly, is their lock time. They're a little bit faster than what you would expect, particularly out of the size of these missiles. They are 7s and 5s. They're really much effectively like firing a dragonfly at something, particularly the 7s are. And they're on a turret, which is something players have not seen before. It's something we have not been able to do before. So you have a complete 180 shot around you. The other day, I was just playing around with it, managed to target Gladys out from 9,000 meters. In the future, we're hoping to increase the range that you get out of these missiles, primarily based on the EM signature that you get off the ship.
The great thing about having a ship go straight to flyable is that we go from design to concept to production all in one go. We have all the resources that we need, we plan it out.
And it lets us be much more hands-on with it the entire time. It lets us make better decisions because it's fresher in everybody's mind at the time and produce the product that we really want to make as fluidly as we can.
It's really fun to actually get something out really fast.
The thing I hope players get out of this, well, it's not so much what they get, it's more what they create. I want complete chaos out of this thing. I want players defending outposts. I want them keeping people from landing. I want people claiming an area. This is their area. This is the device they're using to make it their area.
Here's what I think is going to happen. They're going to spawn them outside of like Hurston or Lorville and just not let people land at places that they want to land. That's probably what's going to happen.
That was a cool segment, but I really think we could have done like a making of the segment instead of just another dev interview. I mean,
That's enough. It's time to get back to the regular show now. Let's talk about the 890 jump. Now, this massive super yacht from Origin has been a dream of many Star Citizen backers since it was first introduced, and it promises to set a new standard for scale in the persisting universe when it arrives in a supplemental 3.6 patch. And with a whopping 68 rooms filling out this monument to excess, members of the props team have been working to add additional life to many of them. Let's take a look now at some of their work.
68. Nice.
So today I'm showing you the props that we've been making for the 890 over the past few weeks. We've got some custom assets that we've made for the spa, like these towels and these sandals. Quite a big kitchen set for this. We wanted it to feel like, a professional restaurant is on board. One of the other things we wanted to make to elevate the whole ship to this, classy, high standard is filling it with lots of modern art. So John, who sits just there, he got to make some of these little sculptures here, stuff that hopefully you'd find in a gallery, as well as some large ones here you'll see dotted around the ship. And more traditionally, we've got some paintings that Corey's been working on. He's made these in Substance Designer, and he's got all our signatures sort of thrown on the painting. So though Corey technically made every painting, I think everyone in the team has sort of scanned in their signature to stick on each of the paintings. So we hope that collectively these props will complement the luxurious feel of the ship and elevate the player experience.
Each week, Inside Star Citizen focuses on the development of our patch at hand. In this quarter, the upcoming 3.7. Now, we're still pretty early in the sprint cycle for Alpha 3.7, so we thought we'd try something different this week and take a look farther ahead at a feature that's only just recently begun its development and won't be making its way into Star Citizen for some time to come. Let's check in now with our actor feature team in the UK and see their earliest work bringing melee combat to the persistent universe.
We're just about to start on melee combat and the introduction into Star Citizen. So melee combat itself includes unarmed combat with your fists. It also includes weapon combat with knives or other weapons that we might add later down the line. So we've just started melee combat last quarter, but obviously being first-person combat, there's obviously unique challenges that we have to overcome in that, with the unified rig and having it look good, and obviously the level of quality and production values that we're aiming for. Clearly we're obviously at the stage now where we're just getting the animations in there and we're testing them out. We're going through several different tests of taking the mocap data and then bringing that into engine. You can see here the first version is that we're just testing the first-person perspective and how that looks. Here in test 2 we're actually counter-rotating the head, and this allows us to actually punch where you're aiming, but it's actually pushing the camera off to the side. So obviously in a first-person game you don't really want the camera moving a lot. You've already got a lot to take into a combat scenario. You're tracking your target, you're trying to choose which move you want to use. So we want to obviously kind of keep the camera selling the weight of the animation, but also keep it stable in these light attacks with a jab. This camera motion might be more appropriate, say, when you're doing a heavy attack, but for a light attack we want to kind of tone it down and see how that goes from there. So in test 3 you can see here that the left jab is working well, but the right still has issues. Obviously we're going through different technical challenges to overcome and technical solutions. So we're starting to go in the right direction with test 4. We started to get more of a stable head cam position, but obviously you're seeing that the animation in third person isn't that great, and you can see that the right arm is actually impinging, the right shoulder is impinging on the camera view. So here you can see obviously test 35, we've gone through several tests, and we're actually starting to get to a version where, okay, we just stripped everything back and we just said, okay, let's isolate the arm movement, how does that feel? And we get what we want on the arm movement, and then we can start bringing the body back into it once we've got that stability. So you can see here we're punching exactly where you're aiming, we know it's working, we've got good timing on both the left and right hand, and now is obviously the next iteration. We've still got a lot of ways to go in terms of the heavy attacks and bringing those on board, but I think we're at a good place now to actually start building on top of that and start playing it and feeling it and seeing if it feels good. So hopefully we'll make really good progress next quarter. Obviously we can have another check-in and see how that goes, and hopefully we'll have some cool footage to show you then.
Now, it's going to be a while before we see melee combat in Star Citizen, but you can bet we're going to check in with the actor feature teams and follow up on its progress in the coming quarters. So with that, what did we learn this week? We learned that the Untitled Ballista aims to bring added dynamics to vehicle combat. We learned that the 890 jump will bring some fancy fine art to the persistent universe. We learned that the road to first-person melee combat has many hurdles to overcome, but we've never met a challenge we didn't like. And we learned that you have to show up on time for your hosting segments, or chaos ensues. As usual, our thanks go to subscribers each and every week for making this show and others like it possible, and to everyone in the Star Citizen community. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching. For the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42, you can subscribe to our channel, or you can check out some of the other shows, and you can also head to our website at www.robertsspaceindustries.com. Thank you very much for watching.